I'll hand the conference over to Mr. S. Vaikunthanathan, Vice President Finance, KNR Constructions Limited. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Good afternoon, friends. I welcome you all on our earnings call for the quarter ended 30th June 2020. Along with me, I have Mr. K. Jalindhar Reddy, Executive Director, Mr. K. Venkatram Rao, General Manager, Finance and Accounts, and Strategic Growth Advisor, our Investor Relations Advisor, and our Senior VP, Mr. Ravana. Let me begin by giving you all brief on the key industry updates, and then we'll discuss the company's performance. In the post-COVID-19 period, infrastructure is one of the few sectors that is likely to do well going ahead. The thrust to jumpstart the economy would have to come from government-driven expenditure, considering that private investment, consumption-led demand, and exports are all likely to remain weak. Construction of infrastructure could enable resumption of capital goods production, provide employment opportunities, and revive private sector confidence. The rupees 113 trillion National Infrastructure Pipeline built on Infrastructure Vision 2025 was announced in the pre-COVID period in December 2019. The NIP integrated multi-sector infrastructural projects with the global goal of becoming a $5 trillion economy and improve overall quality of life. In the post-COVID-19 world, the success of the NIP will be dependent on the human capital, innovative funding models, and greater technological integration. This would not only provide a timely stimulus for turning the tide on industrial activities as well as improve national competitiveness. National Highway Authority of India has digitally transformed itself, moving to online project management workflows and adopting advanced analytics. India's $5 trillion economy rests on the completion of critical infrastructure under NIP. As a part of NIP, the annual expenditure for FY21 was envisaged at 19.5 trillion rupees and a similar number of FY22 as well. Given the sudden shock to the economy and the resultant recessionary pressures, there is likely to be a strong reprioritization of resources. CapEx from the state government is expected to decline and that from central government to increase. Government is currently prioritizing projects based on three parameters. Firstly, those projects whose preparatory work is over and commencing the same could be done effortlessly. Secondly, for those projects where either the land is readily available or have achieved financial closure, and thus commencement of execution would be relatively easier. And finally, for those projects which would help improve economic productivity leading to further growth. The ongoing pandemic forced the industry to press the pause button. The unprecedented crisis has also presented us with an opportunity to revisit how we conceive, design, regulate, build and operate physical infrastructure in our country. With post-COVID reprioritization and strong implementation, building infrastructure holds the key to reviving economy and getting back on the growth agenda. NHAI awarding. Amid the lockdown, there was a lull in awarding of projects by NHAI in the month of April and May 2020, which has picked up in June 2020. NHAI orders the current bidding stage are worth rupees 50,000 crores, that is 50% in HAM and 50% in EPC. Till July, NHAI has awarded projects of about 460 kilometers against the annual target of 4,500 kilometers for FY21, vis-a-vis its target of 3,211 kilometers in financial year 20. NHAI has restarted awarding of BOT projects after about 3 years. Construction across national highways is picking up. It rebounded to 637 kilometers in May from just 210 kilometers in April. But the key construction months were lost in lockdown and labor migration continues to happen. Normalcy returned only after the monsoon. Overall, the construction industry is bracing for a 10 to 13% decline in highway construction on year this fiscal. Toll operations. The COVID-19 pandemic-induced lockdowns had virtually halted movement of people and goods in April and May, but curbs are being lifted. According to a recent CRISIL report, the traffic on national highways is bouncing back with electronic toll collection, reaching nearly 75% of pre-COVID lockdown level with lifting of curbs. The overall ramp-up in toll collection has been faster than initially envisaged. The trends are encouraging so far and sustained for more than 2 months, indicating that it is not only due to pent-up demand. Now coming to the key updates of the company. During the quarter, we have achieved financial closure of our Palani HAM project, that is Vattanjatram to Madathukulam on 22nd May 2020. With this, all 5 HAM projects have achieved financial closure. Of these 5 HAM projects, 4 projects have received appointed day and construction activities have already been started. The percentage physical progress as on 30th June 2020 for these 4 HAM projects is as follows. Chittoor to Mallavaram is 57.6%, Ramsanpalli to Mangalore 51.5%, Trichy to Kalagam 43%, Magadi to Somwarpet is 9.3%. We expect to receive the appointed date for Palani by first week of September. The total equity requirement for all the 5 HAM projects is 624.28 crores, of which we have already invested 223.49 crores as on 30th June 2020. The balance equity will be invested over a period of 3 years with an investment of 250 crores in balance period of FY21, rupees 110 crore in FY22, and remaining 40.79 crore in FY23. You can refer slide number 22 of our investor presentation for details on each HAM project. Our deal to divest 3 HAM projects, that is Trichy to Kalagam, Chittoor to Mallavaram, and Ramsanpalli to Mangalore, is on track. As per the agreement, we will completely sell these 3 HAM projects after COD plus 2 years, which will help us to free up our equity for new projects. Our discussion with Cube for sale of 100% stake in KNR Valayar Tollways Private Limited for an enterprise value of 529 crores are in the final discussion of negotiation. We expect to close the transaction and receive the money within the next couple of months. The toll collection on BOT toll project has been impacted for 19 days in the month of April 2020 as the toll collection resumed from 20th April as per direction of NHAI. Post the resumption of total collection of 20th April 2020, the average collection per day was severely impacted due to continuing nationwide lockdown. The toll collection for our Valayar project was 7 crore for Q1 financial year 21. Whereas for our Bihar project, that is Muzaffarpur Barani project, the collection has been 10.25 crores. We have invoked the force majeure clause as per the concession agreement and are in discussion with NHAI for eligible compensation. Coming to the project execution, the execution of our EPC as well as HAM projects were impacted in the initial days of lockdown. Once the lockdown restrictions were eased, we saw a gradual improvement in pace of execution at all our project sites. Currently, the execution has been slow due to ongoing monsoon season. However, based on the labor and raw material availability, we see our project execution gradually moving towards optimum levels by next quarter, barring any further disruptions. Coming to our order book position, as on June 30th, 2020, we have an order book of 7,209 crores, of which irrigation project constitutes 54% and balance 46% is roads EPC, and captive HAM projects. Client-wise, 69% of our order book is from third-party clients and balance 31% is from captive HAM projects. Our third-party order book or non-captive order book, which accounts 69% of the total order book, is skewed between state government contracts with 45%, whereas 5% from central government, and the balance 19% of order book is from other private players. Our order book as on 30th June does not include EPC component of Palani HAM project, as we have not yet received the appointed date. Including the EPC component of Palani, which is of 640 crores, our order book would be rupees 7,849 crores. Based on our shortlisted projects and the bidding pipeline for the current financial year, we are targeting a further order inflow of around 2,000 crore this financial year. Now I would request Mr. K. Venkatram Rao, our GM, to present the results for the quarter ended 30th June 2020.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I hope that you have gone through our results and the presentation that we have circulated and uploaded on our website. I would now present the standalone results for the quarter ended 30th June 2020. The total revenue for the quarter grew by 3% to rupees 479 crores in Q1 FY20 from rupees 465 crores in Q1 FY20. Our EBITDA for Q1 FY21 grew by 5% to rupees 94 crores as compared to rupees 90 crores in Q1 FY20. The EBITDA margin saw a moderate growth of 30 basis points to 19.7% in Q1 FY21. Net profit for the quarter was rupees 440 crores as compared to rupees 48 crores, largely due to higher effective rate of tax for Q1 FY21. A quick summary for consolidated performance is as follows. The Q1 FY21 consolidated revenue stood at rupees 523 crores as compared to rupees 531 crores in Q1 FY20. Consolidated EBITDA for Q1 FY21 was rupees 130 crores as compared to 116 crores in Q1 FY20, year-on-year growth of 12%. EBITDA margin grew by 310 basis points to 24.9% from 21.8% in Q1 FY20. Net profit stood at rupees 42 crores as compared to rupees 45 crores a year earlier. With this, we now open the floor for question and answer.
Thank you very much, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and one on their touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and two. Participants are requested to use handsets for asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. To ask a question, please press star one. We have a first question from the line of Mohit Kumar from IDFC Securities. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So, good evening, sir. Congratulations on a good set of numbers. Sir, my first question is on execution. While the execution for Q1 was pretty good, I was trying to figure out how the execution has ramped up in June and July, and how do you see, panning out in next 7 to 8 months. And secondly, on the irrigation, whatever orders we got in the Q1, have you started execution on those projects?
So actually, the Q2 part concerned, the execution is little bit geared up, but due to rains and all, as this is a rainy season, there is some slowdown is there. But however, the one good news is that we are able to bring back some part of labor from Bihar, Jharkhand, and even from UP. So I think it's a good news that they started coming. In another 1-2 months, I think around 80-85% of the people will be present on the site, and then we will be able to do quite a good job in coming. I can't say, but this quarter is almost delivering good figures. But definitely we will do quite better thing in Q3. At least I can assure about 80% efficiency in Q3. And if at all there is a vaccine and then things are online, then we will try to achieve the 100% progress also. Irrigation concerns, yeah. Sir.
No.
You go on.
when you say 100%, 80%, is it number compared to last year? Compared to last year, or
No. Efficiency on the site. Efficiency on the site is different, and from the figures what I talk is different. Because see, the main thing is that the labor are threaded in the various areas like sitting area and bar bending, scaffolding, and all that. Most of the migrant labor are employed in this. There we have around today used to speak about around 60% of the strength what we require is present. So going forward, if it is another 1-2 months, if we are able to improve it by 80-85%, then that is going to be in order. Again, if it comes to the truck operators of the equipment and all, also they are also 60-65% from the local areas, but 40-45% from migrant people only. So there also we have some strategies. So the equipment is also not working. So I mean to say, in that or something. And you have asked about that irrigation new project. Really, it's under mobilization, sir. And recently the agreements got over. So definitely we can start in upcoming 1-2 months time. As you know that the loan tying up between the banks is under progress. So as per department resources says that within 2 months they are going to conclude the bank deal. So then after that we are asked to start.
And so one last question, yes. Sir. What is status of land acquisition of Odhan Chatram to Mother of Plani? So what is the status, and when do you expect the appointed date to be provided?
Yes, sir. It's almost 72% by 15th of August, sir. As I was there on August 15th in the Tamil Nadu itself. And 70% to 72% it is there. Now another 8% is expected to be by this month end, sir. So month end, if they are able to deliver, I think I've been told that the Kala has been deposited with the amount, and then now they are issuing the checks also. So I think 80% if it is coming by this month end, we have to take the appointed date by this month end itself.
Understood, sir. Thank you, and best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We have next question from the line of Akash Tawani from Edelweiss Financial Services. Please go ahead.
So my first question is on these new irrigation projects. What sort of EBITDA margins are we expecting compared to our road construction projects?
Actually, naturally the irrigation has around say 18 to 20% EBITDA margin. But you know that payments are also a little bit delayed. So really it is working out between 16 and 17, sometimes even below 16, 15 also. It depends on how good they pay.
Okay. And so what is the incremental capex expected to be incurred for these new irrigation projects?
Sir, actually right now whatever the equipment we have that we would like to utilize. And I think this year, I mean to say up to January, we may not have to incur much capex on this. But as you know, that pump house project is involved in that. So certain cranes and certain equipment which are required, they need to be procured in the month of January, sir. And really, the figures are right now not with me, but we will come out with the figures soon, sir.
Okay, sure. And so if you could give...
design of the pump house is not finalized, so we are unable to assess on the equipment assessment.
Okay. And so if you could give us an update on status of receivables from Telangana government as of today or as of now?
Around 540 crores is outstanding, sir, as of now. Recently, they are doing the process of paying it. I think our bill is admitted to the department, admitted by department, and it is entered in the system for the payment queue. So they
Okay.
say that another couple of weeks we shall be paid.
Okay, but we
Technically
did
they
not.
within a week, but I'm saying a couple of weeks because it happens sometimes. Like
Okay, but we did not receive anything this quarter, right?
no, actually, sir, after February we have not received, sir.
Okay. Okay, sure.
Because
Okay,
in
sure.
COVID, actually, sir, there the payments were lined up and budgets were made by the state government. Because of this COVID, a lot of diversion of funds that have happened for COVID management. So it has been delayed, sir.
Okay, sure. Thanks, sir. That's it from my side. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. We have next question from the line of Kalpit Narvekar from Allianz Global Investors. Please go ahead.
Hello. Congratulations on a good set of results, sir. I had one question. In the last earnings call, you had mentioned that NHAI ordering might gain some traction in July, August. So has that come true, and what are the sort of order prospects that you see? Are you in the L1 bidders in any orders recently or anything?
So actually, frankly speaking, we have submitted almost seven tenders whose result is about to come out in by this month end or first week of the next month. So really, and we are in the process of submitting another 10 more bids, sir. In coming this month, I think another 2-3 bids are there. But 7-8 bids are there on the September. Yes, sir. September month.
Sir, what would be the cumulative order value of this?
Actually, each has around 1,500 crore, 1,200 crore, all that, sir. The sizes, each size is different, but more than 1,000 crores all are. Few are 3-4 are there with ticket size of 500, 600 also.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So, sir, so considering the number of bids that you made, the 2,000 crore target for this year, are you targeting mostly from roads now, right? So it seems achievable, right?
Of course, because now what is happening, sir, that all HAM projects which have undertaken by us, almost 3 HAM projects were in progress during the last year.
Yeah.
They are all falling above 60%, 50% levels, sir.
Okay.
So hopefully by March we would be maximum completing them and going for CODs on those months. So now we are eager to acquire 3 more projects which are of about 1,000 crore scale.
Okay. Sir, has
the target what we have, sir.
Sir, has the competitive scenario in these projects changed in any way in the NHAI?
Pardon, sir?
Sir, has the competitive scenario changed in these projects? Is the number of bidders sort of increased or decreased? How or is it similar compared to last year?
Sir, I could not hear, sir.
Hello? Am I audible, sir?
Yeah, sir, please. Now,
yeah. So my question is basically, in these new orders that you're targeting, has the competitive scenario within these NHAI orders, has it changed? Any material change in that front? Has the number of bidders increased or anything, or people are bidding more aggressively or anything of that sort?
Yes, sir. Aggression is there. More of aggression is there now, and number of bidders also have gone up. And there is a newcomers there in the entries, sir.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
That's it from me. Thank you.
Thank you. We have next question from the line of Shravan Shah from Dolat Capital. Please go ahead.
First of all, congratulations on a good set of numbers, sir. Sir, coming to the Sir, coming to these tenders that we are talking, so you said 7 tenders that yet to be open. So, is there any HAM project out of that that we have bidded and yet to open?
Yes, sir, HAM projects only. I think we have submitted 3 Kerala tenders and some state government tenders are there, sir. 3 Tamil Nadu state government tenders are there, and one more Tamil Nadu HAM project was there.
Okay. So these and all these would be 1,000 crore plus each.
Actually, sir, that Tamil Nadu two projects are at around 500 crore size, sir. 2 projects in Tamil Nadu state government project, and one big all other are almost 5 projects are about 1,000 crore, above 1,000 crore.
Okay. And is there any change in terms of the terms and condition in the Tamil Nadu HAM project, state HAM project?
Actually, they are now loading us with the utility shifting is also as a part of contract. Earlier, they used to give us under separate separate payment they used to issue, and it is out of contract. But now they made it as a contract, part of contract.
Okay.
So even that utility shifting becomes the debt equity part.
Okay. And in 40-60 EPC HAM, that ratio is the same, and the O&M also you need to bid a separate O&M, or O&M is linked to the BPC?
Yes, sir. Everything is as same as earlier contracts only, sir. There's no big change.
Okay.
But there's a new document which is going to come up. I think we have been asked to issue our advices, and there is a meeting can happen in any time. The NHBF has given us the inspection, or they place the request. Whoever has any observation, any change that you want to have, that could be, if it is meaningful, they want us to represent to them. And we are also being part of National Highways Business Federation. We will also try to participate in the tender, sir. Sorry, not in the tender. I mean to say in the meeting which is held by the ministry.
So this is primarily for the bank rate. The difference right now, which as bank rate has came down. So to monetize our further assets. So that is the main focus that we will be pushing our thought. Or what other suggestions that we will be pushing?
Exactly. You have all the information. Exactly.
Sir, I need some couple of balance sheet numbers in terms of mobilization advance and retention money and the gross debt and cash.
Yes, sir. So yes, sir. Mobilization advance actually that is 102 crores what we received from the client. And retention money receivables is 163 crores. And gross debt as of 30th June, standalone basis, it is 334 crores. And consolidated debt actually, it is 1,048 crores.
Okay. And have we received any of the release of the bank guarantee related to the whatever the changes the government has done in terms of the performance? Whatever we have done. So have we released any bank guarantee?
No, actually, retention money.
Projects have been released, sir.
Sorry, sir?
Certain projects have been released, like in Hubli, they have released the retention money bank guarantee in the ratio, whatever we have completed the work. And many other places also they have in a process of release.
Okay. Okay. And in Kerala project, we are expecting next 2 to 3 months it would be deal would be done. That's what our expectation.
Yes, sir. The solid negotiations that are happening because of the COVID, there have been certain impacts which they are bringing onto the screen, and whose detailed calculations and detailed understanding is being done. I think we are in a urge of closing these issues, So I think another couple of months we can expect these two deals to go through, sir. But it is right now it is very premature to say anything. But still we hope, sir, around 90% we are going with this.
Okay. That's it from my side. I have a couple of more questions. I will be in queue. Thank you and all the best.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. We have next question from the line of Nitin Dharmawat from Aurum Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity. Couple of questions. You mentioned about payments from the Telangana government. I wanted to know about the NHAI. What is the situation? Are we receiving the payments, or there are some delays over there? If so, how much is the delay? If you can, provide some details about that. And second is about the consolidated debt. What is the consolidated debt now?
Venkat, go on.
Yeah. Sir, this consolidated debt is 1,048 crores as of 30th June. And as far as the payment from the NHAI is, definitely there is no issue. Payment is prompt only. And recently under Atmanirbhar package, actually NHAI is told that what are the grant to be receivable, they will give on monthly installment basis. So on that basis, we have for Tirumala project and Trichy project, we got on proportionately basis only. So as far as NHAI is concerned, sir, there is no delay in the payment from the NHAI.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much. If I have any additional questions, I'll come in the queue.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. We have next question from the line of Venkatesh Balasubramanian from Tokio Marine Asset Management. Please go ahead.
Yeah. You mentioned that you are expecting around 2,000 crores of orders in the remaining 9 months of the year. Can you please tell us what was the order inflow in the first quarter of the current year?
So current year, sir, we got...
Go on.
These two irrigation projects we got, sir, in the current year. So 2,300 crores order book has added in this Q1. And balance 9 months, we are expecting some 2,000 crores of order.
Okay. Did I just hear you're already L1 in 2,000 crores of orders?
No, sir. We are targeting to achieve 2,000 crores order in next 9 months.
Okay, fine. Now, given that the biggest problem quarter, which was, the first quarter when you had the lockdown problem, and now you have some visibility on how things are panning out in the monsoons, and you are expecting that by the start of the third quarter, 85% of the labor would be back in action. What kind of revenues and margins can you do for the full year?
So actually, it depends on the main thing what we can execute out of this new irrigation project which we have received, sir. Actually, the major thing, what we have is around 2,500 crore worth of contracts for these. If we are able to do quite a good numbers from these two projects, definitely we will come to a good conclusion. Whatever the projections which we have given, I think we will try to touch last year and do better also. But the main thing is now we have been asked to hold down these projects because banks, the loan tying up between loan processing between state government and the irrigation department is our government of Telangana is being under progress. So we have been asked to stop the projects from not to progress the projects for 2 months. So if they give us permission to progress, I think at least 300-400 crores we would like to execute out of these projects also, which is an add-on.
Okay.
Or otherwise, if we touch the last year figure, it will be a great thing for us. That's what I mean to say. Yeah.
Okay. So basically what you're communicating is you should definitely do 2,250 crores kind of numbers, but it could be another 200-300 crores depending on how the execution on the irrigation projects go.
Yes, sir. Somewhere around like that we have. I think if Q3 we do better, we are able to do better, then things are okay.
Okay. And what about margin?
Major, we are also facing certain problems here. It is not an obvious to say that. What is happening if, in Tamil Nadu we are working, 1-2 cases if they are finding COVID positive, entire they are doing the lockdown on project site itself for 15 days.
Okay.
Certain areas they are reacting very weird. Or I can say that due to that we may have a little bit ifs and buts, but we will try to push the case.
Okay. And what about margins? I mean, last year margins were extremely high at 21.7%. So will we come close to that number, or you are expecting some kind of contraction in the current year?
It depends actually what is happening, sir. Now the diesel prices are steeply gone up, and steel prices, cement prices are also not under control. So here it is quite difficult to say when the last year figures were all these bitumen, diesel and all other steel, cement prices were in control. That time we could achieve those figures, but here we can't commit same old figures.
Okay. Sir, last question. What was your cash flow from operations in the first quarter of current year, and how would it compare to the first quarter of last year? Cash flow from operations for the standalone entity.
Okay. That's one.
Yeah. So, sir, what cash flow from?
What was your cash flow from operations in the first quarter of the current year, and how much was it in the first quarter of last year?
Sir, this detail we will work out and we will give you separately, sir.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. We have next question from the line of Vibhor Singhal from Phillip Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for taking my question, sir, and congrats on a great set of numbers. Sir, few questions from my side. I don't know if you mentioned this in your opening remarks, maybe I missed that. So as we are standing today in the mid of August, what would be our total execution level in terms of, let's say, what percentage of capacity are we executing at this point of time? And also, what would be the labor availability across the sites on an average for the company?
If I speak about irrigation projects, at least we have say around 90% strength for the day shift, but night shift completely off because of this migrant labor. That is mostly because of the truck operators and excavator operators and all were absent out of the field.
Right.
But I think we as the irrigation project concerned, we are able to achieve around say 70% efficiency here.
Mm-hmm.
Then
and roads?
go to the highway part, around 60% we are able to do project efficiency.
Efficiency.
And the laborer also around 55 to 60% because the laborer who are there during lockdown period and 3 months, they have left and new laborer come. So the old labor were replaced by new labor. And little more by this month end, we are likely to receive a few more laborer in number in each project site. So we are arranging separate buses because they should not interact with the public transportation and end up getting the COVID, and then they spoil the entire environment in the project site also. So we are taking more care to bring them here. Even after that, they are taking a lethargic time. That means they are hesitant to come some places and all that. But still, we are able to manage around say 55 to 60% labor strength is there now. Because of that rainy season only, the efficiency is also falling. Otherwise, it's okay, sir.
Sure, sir. Secondly, sir, on the balance sheet side, as we still have around 500 crores of receivables from Telangana government, and we also saw that in this quarter our debt has increased by around 120 crores. So, do you see that because of maybe, as you mentioned, that some payment delays from government bodies, the debt might go up further in this year, or do you think the debt will come down in the next 2 to 3 quarters?
Sir, actually, out of debt of around 330 crores, what happened, one of the disbursement in SPV that we got in the first week of July, around 125 crores. So if you see that as on date is around only 230 crores only, sir, as on today. What are the level there in the March, the same is there as on today. So what are the one disbursement actually we got delayed actually. So that's why debt was there in that quarter. But definitely after receiving of these receivables from the government of Telangana department, the debt is going to be further reduced, sir.
Oh, okay. Sure, sir. So you believe that can come down from current levels by March next year?
Yeah, sir. Definitely based on this payment cycle from the government of Telangana, sir.
Sure, sir. So my last question is basically on the order book and our strategy going ahead. So in the last 2 years, I mean, because of the recent 4 irrigation orders that we have won, we are now 54% of the order book is almost in irrigation now. Now that you are also bidding for these around 15 projects in the road segment, so going forward, do you want to maintain this 50-50 kind of a ratio in the order book, or do you think that these irrigation just happen to come all together and that is why we got a booster and we will continue to focus only on road segment as our primary segment?
Yes, sir. Actually, as you said, it is right because now the projects are there and we could win the project, means our bids were successful, so thankfully we got these projects. Or otherwise, actually, sir, the main problem in Telangana projects is they don't give you any mobilization advance. So more than 60-70% of the bidders who are not willing to come because, okay, there is a payment problem, there is a not even they are giving the advance, so people are not showing the interest. That's why I think we are able to have some good margin also here, and then we are taking a little bit risk also. We are exposing ourselves to a little bit risk. But sir, I think going forward, there are not ample many projects that are available for the upcoming future. But if at all the reverse interlinking program is being taken up by central government or different states, definitely we are there in a right place with that experience to do the work, sir.
Sure, sir. That is
highway that's our basic business.
Great, sir. Great to hear that. Thank you so much for taking my questions and wish you all the best.
Thank you, sir. We have next question from the line of Priyankar Biswas from Nomura. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir. So I have so again coming back to this irrigation project. Now, as you had highlighted that these are state government projects and of course payment issues are there as well. So what do you expect the working capital levels to be going forward? And what is the status of the financial closure for these projects? Are the banks willing to come forward? Have the government departments at this juncture as we speak has enough money to actually go forward with the payments? So what do you see the situation as?
Sir, actually working capital levels concerned, we are really geared up once we can say. But due to delay in Telangana projects, of course I can say that we have some issues facing around. But actually, frankly speaking, the margins are also good, so we are likely to continue working on it. And because of this COVID only, this much delay is there. Otherwise, we are not expecting much delay on this. So, however, we have taken certain small loans and we are paying them back also. And moreover, the state government concerned, only Telangana state has this problem, but none other states has any other problem. We are working in Tamil Nadu, Karnataka and all, we have no issues. So working capital concerned, we should not be facing any problem in coming 1 to 2 years, sir. At least for this year I can say.
But sir, pardon me.
They pay us this cycle. Whatever the outstanding around 500 plus crores is outstanding from Telangana government. If it's paid in this month and by this month end also, we will be comfortably running the show, sir, without any hassle.
But sir, for the other state projects, like let's say the Karnataka ones and this, so there is an element of multilateral funding, like the KSHIP project is ADB funded. But in this case, there is no such element, right?
Actually, sir, the new order, it's got the bank tie-up, but that's what I told in the beginning, that they are trying to tie up the bank and state government agreements between, or executing the loan document between them. So that is happening. So once that is there in place, there should not be any problem. And the ongoing works which there is in that KP Sagar is completed. So it comes to the Mallana Sagar is almost 65% it is completed, sir. I think another by this October, November end, we will be completing the project also. And the outstanding there, we have a big thing, but I think as they are promised to pay by this couple of weeks, so I think there should not be any problem. The left job will be on the Vattem project, sir. The Vattem project is also under progress, but we will watch and go on it, because if the new projects are starting up, entire equipment we can divert there and we'll have a right to stop that project also for some time, unless they arrange the payment and do it.
Okay, so if the payment... Okay, so if the payment situation and let's say the financial tie-up, let's say takes a bit longer, then you won't risk your working capital. So maybe you can slow down the execution then. Is the understanding correct?
Yes, sir. Actually, see, sir, what happens if this loan is tied up in this the pump house project and the canal project, then the equipment also, we have a point where I can divert my equipment and do some work here so that I can get the payment. And that Palamur lift irrigation, it is belongs that Vattem project belongs to the Palamur lift irrigation. So Palamur project, they are not much giving importance, I think. But they asked us to do the work since the Vattem project is under priority, what I have been told. So there will not be any problems. After COVID, I think we will not have problems. That's what I am thinking.
Okay, sir. That's all from my side.
Yes, sir.
Super.
Thank you, sir. We have next question from the line of Ravi Naredi from Naredi Investments. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much. Sir, any more claim to be received in near future in next 3 months from NHI?
Claims, sir, actually the claims are under process. Can't say right now, but there is some settlements are going on with NHI and KNR and KNR, where we may get certain claims in this year, but can't say when we get them.
Okay. And sir, we already sell 2 toll road, Vallayar or Muzaffarnagar Baroni. Again, but you are telling the deal will be final this year. So I could not understand what is going on.
Sir, actually, that Vallayar Varkancheri concerned, the tube highways we are in discussion with, and final negotiation between both the parties, like KNR and Tube, is under progress. So, because of the COVID and all, there has been certain impact, and due to raise in insurance cost, project insurance cost, there has been certain negotiations which they have put forward. So all these we are under discussion, and we would, if we are able to close this all these by month end, I think in a couple of months we will be able to sell the project.
But it is only Vallayar only, not Muzaffarnagar Baroni.
Vallayar only. The other one, the Muzaffarpur Baroni, now that it has got argumentation issue. in coming 3, 4, 5 years, I really can't say when it is going to happen, but there is an argumentation issue, so none of the buyers are interested to come forward because, soon after they will land into argumentation and the valuations and all, they are not sure of.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
And the time period left is very small for that. That's the problem.
Right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We have next question from the line of Jiten Rushi from Axis Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Good evening, sir. Thanks for taking my question and congratulations on good set of numbers. So my first question would be on the order backlog breakup for the irrigation projects. We have around 3,870 crore of irrigation projects. Can you please give us the breakup of the order backlog in like KP Sagar, Yedula, and the Palamuru, the two Navyuga mega irrigation projects, and the recently won 2 projects? If you can just give us the breakup of order backlog.
Yeah, sir. For KP Sagar, sir, it is 84 crore, sir.
Okay.
For Yedula, it is 12 crores. And for Mallana Sagar, it is 518 crores, sir. So for Vettam, it is 847 crores.
Okay.
Yes. And one
JV project is also there, no?
JV project 77 crores, sir. That's
and balance is for the 2 new projects. That is.
1,600 crores and 695 crores.
So last time you said 417 crores, 417.
Yeah, sir. Actually, initially we thought that 60% only work we will execute, but now we have discussed with the JVs, and now entire 100% portion now we are executing, sir.
And sir, if you see about Telangana, so Telangana, I think we have not booked any revenue this quarter looking at the order backlog. So what is the unbilled and the unbilled portion and the outstanding receivable portion from the Telangana? I think it should be more than 540 crores, right, sir?
Yeah, sir. Actually, as on total, you can say that total receivables actually from the Telangana government as of June it is 526 crores. And after that actually we have done some work but which is not certified. That is around 180 crores. So put together, if we see around 680 crores is the receivables plus work certified and work done but not billed is there of around 680 crores, sir. As on date.
So just 680 crores includes receivable of how much, sir?
Receivable of 127 crores, sir.
120. And balance is unbilled revenue.
Unbilled revenue is 440 crores, sir. And around 180 crores of the work done but not certified.
Not certified.
Yeah.
So that's a big number actually. If you see.
Yeah.
Sir, anyway, sir, can you just give me the retention money, cash and bank balance, receivables as on June, and total unbilled revenue as on June, sir?
So this retention money is 163 crores actually, sir.
Retention is 163. Okay.
Yeah, cash balance is of around 16 crores, sir, actually, as of 30th June.
And unbilled total?
Total unbilled is 441. Major is irrigation from.
Achha, these are total irrigation only, nothing from roads.
Major is unbilled from irrigation only because balance other HAM project and road project, there we have done the work and there is no unbilled portion like that.
Okay, sir. And sir, in terms of execution, Reddy sir was saying that we can do 200-300 crores of execution from the newer irrigation projects. So that is something which you're talking about this year, if at all the financial tie-up happens on time, or else if financial tie doesn't happen, then we will not be able to book 200-300 crores of revenue from 2 irrigation projects this year, right, sir?
Yeah.
Is the understanding correct, sir?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, correct, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And sir, and the debt levels, so are we looking for any additional borrowings, because now we are looking to invest equities, and if we win more HAM projects, and looking at the Telangana situation, the payments can get delayed if at all. We hope that it should come on time. Then any debt levels we are looking to go up in next couple of months or this next quarter, like?
Sir, actually, we are not really expecting any debt level to be go up, because the reason is being these are the what are the receivables we have to receive from the government of Telangana. For that, actually, we are pushing hard, and we expect that at least within 1 month, this quarter, we should receive the money. And other than this Cube deal is also under final discussion. So we expect that when these two events will happen, then what are the equity requirement of around 250 crores in this balance period, it will suffice. So we are really not seeing any debt is going to be popped up in the balance sheet.
And sir, and the depreciation, what is the run rate expected? Because this quarter the depreciation was down steeply sequentially. So what is the run rate expected, sir, depreciation? Because usually for irrigation work we have higher depreciation in terms of execution. So
yeah, sir, definitely, sir. What are the irrigation project depreciation? No, but what are the depreciation? Right now we have around 75 crores of net block of in the irrigation projects only, sir. So and this year we are not expecting any capital addition. So there may be around 100 or 120 crores will be the capex for this year. And Q1 we have incurred only 15 crores of the capex. So this year we expect that depreciation could be in a range of around 40 crores per quarter. Maximum around 150 to 160 crores will be the maximum depreciation for this year, sir.
So 100 to 120 crore capex you said for road projects, the new projects you are receiving.
All road projects and even some irrigation project, we have to buy some cranes like that, sir is telling. So all put together. So we are not going to increase much capex in this year, sir.
Okay. Sir, this 75 crore, what is the gross block for that, sir?
75 crores gross block.
75 crore block. You said net block is 75 crore. So how much, sir?
Just a minute, sir. Gross block is around 300 crores, sir.
Yeah, so 300 crore is 75 crore net block and 300 crore is gross block. Okay, sir, that's it from my side and all the best, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. We have next question from the line of Parikshit Kandpal from HDFC Securities. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. Congratulations on very good set of numbers. So my question is, this quarter, what was the irrigation revenue in the mix?
Just 140, sir. Sir, around 108 crores, sir, actually. We did revenue in this quarter.
And what was the revenue in June 19 quarter, sir, on irrigation?
June 19 is around 57 crores only, sir.
So,
this quarter we did around 23%, sir, actually, this quarter. And corresponding to last quarter, it was only 13%, sir.
So still, I'm not able to understand because the 50%, 55% labor, we have been able to surpass last year's number. And even if I say the irrigation is not a major contributor, so when you are saying that 80% labor, when it becomes in next couple of months, we'll still be at an efficiency of 80-85%. So can you explain why, despite like 1 month, almost 1.5 months of operations being shut, we were able to surpass last year's of revenue despite irrigation not contributing a very big amount?
Actually, what happened, as you see that old orders have been already completed. So there is no revenue from that Pollachi Coimbatore and then Coimbatore flyover, which is completed, and then the irrigation projects also, 2 of them are already completed, like KP.
So my question, Reddy sir, my question is कि आपने
yes sir, I'm in a process of answering your question, sir. Okay, you shoot your question, then I'll come out here. Yes sir.
I'm saying कि आपका execution despite 1.5 months of operation being shut is more than last year's execution. And even when I was trying to see the mix of irrigation and roads, so irrigation contribution 50 crores, it has gone up by 50 crores, I understand, but not that meaningfully gone up, despite it having higher labor. Roads mein labor was less, still we have been able to do very good number on roads. So what contributed? So how is the execution much better than last year? I'm trying to understand that.
Actually, there's nothing more than nothing good or anything here. here is that why the figures have come up means the number of orders are increased, one thing, and few projects which are got completed in the last quarter, so whose revenues which were unbooked or unbilled, and certain miscellaneous items which were not billed because of uncompletion, non-completion, all that got paid. It's not that actually, sir, that Pollachi Coimbatore, there was a last bill we got quite a good sum. So kind of that two projects or three projects have been completed in that particular quarter, so which has contributed good revenues, sir.
Sir, addition to this in GHMC work actually, sir, we did around 40 crores work in this quarter. So what happened actually, we are not envisaged we are going to do this much of work in this quarter because due to lockdown and there is no traffic, the state government has pushed hard and almost 40 crores of work actually we did in one quarter actually. So this has contributed actually a lot, what we have not expected from.
Okay. Okay, Venkat, my second question is, you said that the debtors is 127 crores, unbilled is 441, and work in progress is 180 crores, right?
That work is, yeah, that is 180 crores, yeah. That is up to August, what I am talking. As on date, actually. Up to July end.
So this is, in this, how much of debtors will be, in the debtors, how much will be the NHI debtors? Out of 127, how much will be NHI debtors, and how much will be unbilled out of 441 NHI unbilled?
Actually, sir, out of 475 crores of debtor as of 30th June, 127 crores debtors relating to irrigation. So balance 348 crores the debtors which is other than basically irrigation debtors. So out of 348 crores, around 200 crores is the debtors from the Tirumala. That money we got in actually around 125 crores we got in the first week of July. So out of 348, 200 crores debt is pertaining to one project Tirumala and some other SPV like Somwarpet and everything that we got. So out of 348 crores, around 180 crores the money we received actually in the first week of July. So right now, as of other than irrigation, actually there is no much challenges in debtors other than irrigation.
So irrigation is totally 750 crores of exposure on the balance sheet as of now. So 127.
Around 680 crores, yeah. Receivables as of date, around 680 crores, yeah.
And Reddy sir said that we are expecting in a couple of weeks' time. How much of payment we are expecting against the 680 crores?
Around 440, sir.
440.
Okay, 440 crores we are expecting. So, okay. So, just one more question which I have is that AP government has now showing intent of picking up development works. Recently, they have also planned to roll out irrigation projects. Plus, Jagan Reddy has come on record and said that he's looking at revival of the capital projects. So, what is your view? Whether you will bid for those projects in AP? If you can give some sense on that.
Pardon, sir, I couldn't hear that.
Sir, recently in the Andhra Pradesh CM, Mr. Jagan Mohan Reddy has said that he's looking to restart all the stuck projects and making some payments to the contractors for the stuck projects. Even I think on the irrigation side, they were looking to revise some of the projects where the central government has asked them to Telangana to make a DPR and for the time being stop the projects on irrigation. So I was just asking, how do you view the opportunity of the order intake or the bid opportunity in the Andhra Pradesh? Because till now we have stayed away from the state projects in AP. So we have NHI projects there, we have bid there. But I wanted to know, how do you see that AP ordering opportunity panning out for you? Whether you will bid for those projects?
Yeah, actually, AP is, as long as the project concerned, we would like to bid, but at what margins we expect and as we compete, like we compete in the NHI or not, that is to be decided, sir. Definitely, I'd like to go for bidding this time, but I would like to also factor in the delays of payments there. So That's one of my concerns. Otherwise, we are open to do it, sir.
But has the central government told the Telangana government to stop the irrigation projects and prepare, give a DPR and then look at proceedings? So, if it is correct, will it impact any of our projects in Telangana?
Sir, actually, what happens, these people are again started fighting back on that, saying that central government says this clearance, that clearance, and there have been certain observations from the estimate side and all that. And there has been disputes between Telangana and Andhra Pradesh state for water fight. So these all forced the central government to take such steps. But I think ongoing we have asked them whether is it going to impact our ongoing project. No, they said you go on with the existing project. We do not have any problem on that.
Okay. Just lastly on the cube deal, sir, how much do you think approximately range? I know it's difficult to quantify. So will it come down by 10%, 20%? So how much of discount will be passing on? Any approximate range you can give?
So actually, it is premature to say anything, sir. But I think they were coming in 2-3 areas. They are coming for negotiation. There is one area is that there is a sudden increase in the insurance, project insurances. The maintenance cost insurances have gone up. One thing they are coming up with. Second thing that there is a revenue shortage during the COVID period and lockdown periods. So for that they have some cost reduction which they want to offer.
Okay.
So there are three issues like this, sir, that proper calculation. So we are also open. If it is really a loss, okay. Rather I am there, I would like to have I'll have to continue with those losses. So as of now, whatever the losses which are there, that we would like to properly calculate and take the impact of that in our books and then leave the project. So that is under the stage of discussion, sir.
Okay, but intent is to exit the project. So our intent is to move away from the project and take the money.
Yes, sir. We are positive towards that.
Okay.
Sure, sir. If they are very unreasonable, we cannot do anything. But if they are reasonable enough, then we will be okay to go with it.
Okay, sir. Sure, sir. Thank you. That's all from me.
Thank you. In the interest of time and fairness to all participants, ladies and gentlemen, please limit questions to 2 per participant. We have next question from the line of Alok Diora from Yes Securities. Please go ahead.
Hello. Congratulations, sir, on a great set of numbers. Just a couple of questions. One is, sir, the debtor days have been rising since the last several quarters, and now we have taken some more irrigation projects. So where do we see this heading? Because you also mentioning that the debtor is quite challenging while we are getting higher margins, but where do we see the debtor position ending up?
Actually, as we know that before this COVID, things were almost okay. Can't say that there were delays, but not more than 90 days delays were there earlier. But due to COVID, actually, the funds have got diverted, what everybody is paying. So, definitely there is a disturbance in Telangana government payments only, sir. And except this, I think everything is in order. And even now they have taken up to pay the balance bill. At least now whatever we have submitted last month bills are up to last month bills, whatever we have submitted, they are ready to pay in couple of weeks, and they have taken into system to pay them. So once they pay, I think it should be okay. I don't think things will get further worsened. So that's what we are expecting, sir.
But sir, have we received any?
The new projects which are already tied up with the banks, and it's only a documentation that has to be happen between the state government and the bank. So that's going to be in order, what I'm thinking.
Okay. So have you received any payments post June, like in this 1.5 months?
No, sir.
Okay.
Actually, last payment was done during the February, sir, and March we were supposed to be paid with quite a good sum, but the COVID has ruined our situation.
Yeah, because sir, because of the changing mix, I think the debtor days is been rising. So just if we are
yes, actually, in our track record, we never had such situation, but this time we are facing this. Really.
No. And sir, one more question. So, what's the competitive intensity on the road EPC segment? How do you see that shaping up?
Sir, actually, road EPC, there are very less number of tenders which have been now announced, sir. In which every bid has around 15 to 16 bidders. So the intensity is quite high, sir.
Sure. So we had participated in some of these.
Yeah, actually, sir, generally we tried participating. We have even participated in EPC bid 1 or 2. We have participated also.
Okay.
And actually, certain areas where the Gujarat and of it on the expressways, because it is highly crowded and our cost was not much. Sure. Initial cost is going up out of competition, so we did a couple of bids, but we didn't get our bid.
Oh.
We thought we will not win the bid, and that's why we have stopped. But upcoming is that all that MP, Maharashtra, and all other states we would like to bid even for that expressways.
Okay. Okay, sir. That's all from my side. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. We have next question from the line of Rohit Natarajan from Antique Stock Broking. Please go ahead.
Thank you for this opportunity. Congratulations on good set of numbers, sir. So my first question is to understand the labor availability in the road projects. Because what I'm given to understand is you have close to 3,000 laborers at site. And out of that, maybe close to 80% is actually machining, and the remaining 20 is where this migrant laborers situation is where comes into play. So 80% is not an issue for you. Ideally, you should have 80% worker availability. But the figures that you're talking about is 60% labor availability. So I'm just trying to reconcile what that number looks like and how is the labor availability situation over there.
Actually, sir, I was saying that the 60% level is as of today. We have received new set of labor, but the old set of labor who are at least 25 to 30%, 40% labor who were there in the project during the COVID period also, lockdown period also. They once these new people have come, they left. So there has been plus minus and something, that's why it has fallen to 60% levels. Otherwise, as you said, it could have gone up by 80% also. But I think another we must be having September first week when we must be having good set of labor numbers in each side. We have been organizing almost 30-30 number. Almost 200-250 members we are organizing by this month end itself. So definitely they come. If they come, then things are going to improve. We are even organizing some buses, almost 7-8 buses we are organizing for them. And if this thing is successful and further if we do another attempt, definitely we should be having enough labor on site.
Sure, sir. My second question is more to do with the fund availability at Telangana government. Sir, there are certain news where CM KCR has said that funds will be consolidated and the immediate priority is to do the works on Palamuru Rangareddy, Sitaram and Tamaka barrage. So Kaleshwaram lift irrigation is not in the picture. Is that the way we should read it?
Really, we are not understanding what is this political sort of segments are going with. But really, sir, we have been asked to work and we are working, and as long as we are paid, we are okay with doing it. But as you know, maybe I am also doubting myself. The new set of projects which we have received, we have been asked to stop for 2-3 months unless that loan tie-up is done between state government and bank. So maybe they have cited that reason only, but nothing else they have said.
Sure, sir. That's it from my side. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. We have next question from the line of Vinod Modi from Reliance Securities. Please go ahead.
Thank you for the opportunity, sir. My question basically pertains to your margin, sir. You said in your statement that it would be difficult for you or kind of challenging to you in terms of maintaining last year's of margin, especially with the fact that you are saying because of a sharp rise in cement, bitumen, as well as other input cost, it would be difficult for you to last year's of margin to maintain. So does it essentially mean that our this irrigation projects, these projects do not carry any sort of pass-through, sir? Or
actually, sir, everything has a pass-through, but when it comes to this cement, steel, there is a very, the component in WPI for cement and steel is very less. And if there is a raise in cement, if there is a raise about 1,000 rupees in a ton, it gets reflected only 400 rupees or something. So around 60% is off from the escalation. So that's where we have impact. Even steel is same like that. And when it goes to the POL and all, then they multiply with 10%. But in fact, they incurring about say sometime 12 to 15% we are clocking. So the differential will be losing.
Okay, got it. So essentially, it's the cement prices which affect a lot, because cement, I understand cement, I think it takes a lot in terms of consumption for irrigation projects. So I think prices of movement of cement prices matters a lot for the margin. That is what you wanted to say, compared to other inputs.
I'm really not worried much on the state government projects. I'm really worried much on national highway projects.
Okay.
Because the revenue contribution from national highways is almost 60%. So there I'll have issues, and all that WPI problems also come up there only.
Okay. Okay, got it. And then with the kind of irrigation project that you have added in recent months, so of course your capex would be significantly higher in FY22, if not in FY21. So can you give me broad, ballpark number for capex for FY22, sir? It would be helpful.
Actually, sir, the FY20 this year concerned, we are not having much capex requirement, but upcoming years, we will be able to, once actually the major capex has to be done on the irrigation project, which is the pump house project only.
Yeah.
So that pump house project designs are not come up, sir. So we were in the process of getting the designs approved, and once the designs are in place, then definitely what size of cranes we will be requiring, what size of gantries will be requiring, what sort of railing equipment will be requiring. Those are going to decide it, sir. And we would also be requiring the telescopic booms and all that. So these requirements only, the capacities only get finalized during once we get the designs and all, sir. So definitely we are waiting for that to happen. As it's a new era for us, that pump house project is a very new era for us. So we do not have complete detail with us to work out and tell you exact figures on this, sir.
Okay, got you, sir. That's all. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you. We have next question from the line of Prem Khurana from Anand Rathi. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for taking my questions. Most of my questions have already been answered, just two if I may. So one was, I think, over the last 2 quarters, what we've seen is essentially for our hybrid annuity projects. So for instance, in this quarter, for Chittoor Mallavaram, our estimated equity number has gone up and your grant is down by a similar number. And I think we saw this with Ramsanpalle, Mangalore as well. So what would explain this? I mean, lowering of grant and equity going up. And second, related to this would be essentially, so when Cube invest money, assuming, I mean, you let them invest money, I understand, I mean, you don't want them to invest money now because you want to have your IRRs in place. But if they were to invest money, 49%, would that 49%, would that be calculated on a new raised equity, or it'll still be the old equity numbers that you'd given us at the time of that deal?
Sir, because what happened in Tirumala project, the same thing is happened in Ramsanpalle also. Because one of the lenders actually, they are, because you know this project has been funded by HDFC Bank, and after that they have downsold to different lenders.
Sure.
So one of the lenders condition that they won't consider that inflation, there's a project inflation multiples in the source of finance.
Okay.
So what they told that actually what are the inflation portion in the grant actually, it should be excluded and it will be passed through to the EPC contractor. So corresponding we have reduced the grant and increased the equity component, and now what are the inflation is coming from the NHAI, it will be passed through to the EPC contractor. So with that content, that there will be small change in the financial model. What we did with that, actually there is no change, because now whatever the inflation is coming, it is passed to the EPC contractor. That is one.
Sure.
And second aspect, in respect of the queue, what are the three projects we have in the process of selling, that sale will happen on COD date. But definitely we have already formalized the valuation method actually. So we will plug in this figure in that there, and we will arrive the value. So as of now, because we done valuation based on the old model, and now a real valuation, because balance, it depends upon the balance completion cost, that we will arrive only on the COD date. So once on COD date, we will plug these figures and we will come out with valuation.
Okay. And so second question, on this quarter, the tax rate is almost around 30-odd%. So what could be the number for the full year?
Sir, because this year, sir, actually what this quarter also, there is only 12%, this ATIA project contributed only 12% in our revenue, and balance 88% in the non-ATIA project. And future, I think this trend will go up. So this year we may end with this same around effective tax rate of 30% actually.
Sure. But would that mean
you will utilize the entire net credit, and
Okay.
next year onwards we will go to new tax regime.
Sure. Okay. Sure. Thank you.
Thank you. We have next question from the line of Vijay Kumar from Spark Capital. Please go ahead.
Good evening, sir. Sir, in your opening remarks, you had sounded positive over the long term because you expect government expenditure to increase in the infrastructure space. It will be positive for roads also. So are you seeing from your interaction with Ministry of Roads or Ministry of Finance or even with NHAI, any concrete evidence of this happening, or is it only a hope?
Hello? Sir, I could not hear you, please. Can you repeat the question, sir?
So are you able to hear me now properly?
Sir, hello?
Is it audible now?
Yes, sir. Now it's okay.
Okay, so I was referring to your opening remarks where you sounded positive on government capex in infra space increasing. So I'm asking whether there is any concrete evidence from your interaction with Ministry of Roads or Ministry of Finance or with NHAI now that indicates that is likely to happen, or is it only hope?
It's right now it is a hope, sir. Because PM himself believes that the incremental on the infrastructure sector could going to fetch the overall scenario and revenue circulation and employment generation, everything would happen. So he wants to give good thrust on that. So right now it's a hope.
Okay.
I am not able to interact with any the VLs because I am unable to go to Delhi because if you want to go to Delhi, you have to go through flight or something. Then now flights are not suggested to go because of the COVID.
Understood.
Really,
I'll ask it. Yeah, I totally get your point.
Whatever the answer to the point I have above, then I'm able to talk to them. Otherwise, I'm unable to.
Understood. So another way of looking at it is, of course, NHAI does land acquisition every year, and of course 30% of its expenditure every year goes into land acquisition. So whether that is again have picked up materially in the last 1 or 2 months, do you know anything like that?
Sir, actually the both they are driving very hard. They are pushing very hard for the land acquisition. But in a way, they are doing. It's okay, sir. Now there is a bit incremental progress is there in land acquisition. But I can say that it is not sufficient. Whatever the effort or anything, and we are also giving NHAI. NHAI is also now announcing the tenders after 80% of the land availability. So things are likely improving, sir. But
so this 4,500. Understood. So what I'm asking is this 4,500 kilometers of target for FY21. So you are telling most of it would be tendered only with 80% land in possession. Is that the right way of understanding?
So yes, sir. This time we can think of it.
Okay. And
maybe third quarter onwards we may be improving bit, but we have to see, sir. Really, that the COVID is really a botheration factor for us. One of our site is closed for 15 days, as we have been reported one single case, and a few were tested, and the fellow was saying in a mass gathering. So they have closed down entire our. So if things are repeating like this, definitely there is a minus side. Otherwise, things are okay.
So coming to this bank funding, so in the past, bank financial closures have been a big hindrance for timely execution of HAM projects. Again, there too, are you seeing any positive commentary and view from banks that this year, whenever projects are awarded, it will be financially closed on time, or is it going to be similar to earlier experience?
Actually, I am hearing positive news for us, but banks are also, I think, they have not increased their appetite, what I heard. So, okay. They are also selective, what I have been told, actually.
Okay. Final question. You mentioned we had booked revenues related to projects which were completed last quarter and some miscellaneous income in this quarter. What would that number be?
Venkat should have the details, but in detail we can get you...
Separately, I will provide it.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, due to time constraint, that was the last question. I'd now like to hand the conference over to Mr. S. Vaikuntanathan for closing comments. Sir, please go ahead.
Thank you everyone for your participation in our earnings call. In case of further queries, you may get in touch with Strategic Growth Advisor or Investor Relation Advisor, or feel free to get in touch with us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of KNR Constructions, that concludes this conference call. Thank you for joining with us, and you may now disconnect your lines.
Now we'll